And we welcome you back inside McDonald's Gymnasium. I'm Cody Shalafu, and we have Endicott, Suffolk for the second time in as many days. Let's get to know the starting lineups for the visitors. Number 1, Aiden Sullivan. Number 3, Nate Hale. Alex Jacovides, William Rowe, and the senior, number 32, Brendan Molson. It's going to be your Rams lineup. And then for Endicott, somewhat similar to last year, a couple changes. Ty Vitko, Jalen Echeverria, the CCC reigning Rookie of the Year. Billy Arsenal, who had a career day yesterday, which we'll get into a little bit later. Newcomer transfer Dylan Grant. And Matt McDevitt, the CCC first-teamer. And de facto number 1 option now as your power forward. And we are off. Suffolk, as we mentioned, 107 points per game in the last 2 games. They've just been on absolute fire on all different types of cylinders. Outside shooting, inside shooting. They've just been getting it done. And here's Sullivan over to Jacovides, who was 2 30-point games in a row after struggling in the opener. Sullivan, 3-point ball. That's good. And already you see how good their offense is. Echeverria, the Rookie of the Year in the CCC last year, as that third option. Now is going to probably slot into that second option role offensively, and you can see his points per game rise, as well as this man, Matt McDevitt. Give it up to Echeverria. Answer 3, no. Here's Nate Hale. And Nate Hale, Brendan Molson, and Alex Jacovides are the 3 you want to keep an eye on. As that's a good job by Grant. Some added size we haven't seen in Endicott the last few years. But those 3 players on Suffolk we mentioned, they have been the leaders. Those 3 seniors have been absolutely on fire offensively, and they're a big reason why Suffolk's been doing so well. Swing it around the perimeter. As Hale thought about it with the shooter's sleeve. Jacovides somewhat doubled. Going to fade away. Yes. Billy Arsenal's coming off a career day. Even though they lost, Endicott still put up a fight, scoring 84 points, so the offense is still there. As McDevitt swishes home a 3. Arsenal, 23 points, 8 rebounds, 3 of those being offensive, and 7 assists, a career high in points and rebounds. Was 9 of 16 from the field. Didn't hit a 3. I got to the line a few times. And the defensive breakdown, let's open a 3. Grant pulls it in. Grant's a newcomer, but isn't new to the scene of college basketball. An Assumption College transfer. Didn't get too much run his first 2 years. There's McDevitt, another 3 for him. But has found a home here in Endicott. Played 9 minutes in his debut, but as he gets more used to the team and used to the system offensively and defensively, he can be a real X factor for this team going forward. Especially with his size, and he uses it right there, as he probably get credit for a block. And that's going to be a charge. As good job setting the charge there. I believe Sullivan. And energy from both teams as McDevitt has 2 threes on the night, as we know this team to be a 3-point shooting team. And that play right there. James Slatery, Mamadou Ba, and Rich Napolitano will be your officials today. Looks like Mr. Ba had the call on that, and they're going to dump it off to number 31, William Rowe, for the slam dunk. And already a few points scored in the first 3 minutes for both teams. As again, this will be an offensive shootout. McDevitt's probably going to get to the rim here and will take 2 foul shots. Last year, a free throw shooter. McDevitt, again, the CCC first teamer, and the second leading scorer was 87% from the line. I think it took him a few games to miss. He was at 100 or high 90s for a big stretch at the beginning of the season. And he'll hit that one home. McDevitt only a few points last time out. A lot of the other goals, including Ty Vitko and Jalen Echeverria, were the reason a lot of points were put on the board. Jalen staying right with Sullivan. Jacovides is a shooter. Molson is as well. Billy on the floor, but we're all going to stay with Suffolk. Defensive breakdown, drop it off. Another good pass by Sullivan, 2-row. And even though they have that added size inside with the 6'9" Grant, they're still getting to the cup. McDevitt, another 3 on the way, no. Here come the Rams. Rams worked in transition against Nichols in their couple games. They had 19 fast break points in their game last Saturday and only held Nichols to 4. So they won both offensively and defensively in transition as well, as only committing 7 turnovers in that first game and taking 12 points off the 13 Nichols turnovers. Good defense by McDevitt to force the bad pass. So we have Cam Ray and also freshman Parker McLaren ready to check in as soon as the next whistle blows. Arsenal to Grant, stripped down low. Great play by Hale, knowing he can't challenge the block. And Grant is out, and so is Jalen. In comes Cam Ray. In comes Parker McLaren. No Jordan Petway in the starting lineup, which we've been accustomed to the last 2 years, but he's still making an impact. He had the most minutes off the bench in their game on Saturday as McLaren cleans up the offensive glass for 2 points. Petway, great at controlling pace. Also has a sub-1 assist to turnover ratio, or turnover percentage in his college career, as he just does not give the ball up and gives you 4 to 5 assists a night as well. Not the best outside shooter, almost like a Rajon Rondo type. McLaren had good position in the post. They bring the double. McLaren outside jumper. He misses his second shot. And good recovery. Sullivan goes right by him. And another defensive breakdown in transition as again. Looks like McDevitt is calling to be taken out. McDevitt off the screen, and there's Molson all alone with McDevitt. McDevitt trying, and he alters the shot, so that's great defensive transition. Not giving up on the play was McDevitt. (10-11) so far, 14 minutes left in this first half. Arsenal, good move, but can't finish. And the Rams again looking to push. Sullivan just continuing to push the pace. Hale spins, turns around jumper. Good. What a play by Nate Hale. McDevitt now on the post. Cross court, Arsenal 3. Good job. And that's that pass, post passing that McDevitt offers as well as a senior now. Just has a better feel for the game. Maybe 2 years ago, last year, he would have took that shot, but good job finding Billy in the corner. Oh, another dump off and another easy deuce for William Rowe and the Rams. It's going to be a 30-second timeout as Endicott and Suffolk are battling down low. Offense a premium tonight. Suffolk 50% from the field so far early on. Endicott not shooting well from the field, but have 3 threes already early, which is keeping them in this game. Looking at the stats already, Endicott 2 turnovers and Suffolk 2 points off those turnovers. So already we saw a turnover discrepancy in their wins, Suffolk's wins, the last 3 games they've played. And that narrative is continuing. Endicott to limit those, as we probably will see Jordan Petway coming in after this timeout to kind of keep those at bay. And 8 points in the paint for Suffolk. So we'll see Louis Ellis, Cam Ray, Jordan Petway, Drew Brown, and Parker McLaren. And if Brown sounds familiar, it should, as Keith Brown, his older brother, lit up the CCC and the Endicott record books in his 4 years here. And Drew welcoming to not play in his brother's shadow, but create a shadow of his own. Petway finds his way into a 15-footer. Can't hit. Jacovides swing and a defensive breakdown as Sullivan gets into the paint. Over to number 12. That's John Gates. Had a good game off the bench last time out. And that's Jason Mahoney, the freshman from Rowley, Mass. The Governor's Academy is where he went to school. And he knocks down a triple. Endicott staple here under Coach Betancourt is quick substitutions and often substitutions. And already it looks like we're going to see Griffin Curtis. And that's a 3-point ball by Parker McLaren. Back and forth this game is a seesaw of an opening. Jacovides on Petway, and that's too tall for the 6-foot Petway. Cam Ray set up by Petway. And again, just answer. Is already up to over 60% shooting from three-point land is Endicott. So both teams aren't very interested in playing defense right now. Cam Ray staying right with Sullivan, and now he's on the break. Cam Ray, Jacovides, and Brown all there. And it's going to draw the foul on Jacovides. So Cam Ray, good defense turns into easy offense. He's going to go to the line. Cam Ray, a steady riser. Not much playing time his first year. Last year, 14 games. And this year's carved himself a nice little role as a junior. And out comes Brown. Out comes McLaren. The freshman will take a seat. And we have Curtis, Ellis, and Petway, the seniors. As Cam Ray gets his first point of the afternoon. '20s on the board for both squads. They're going to attack Petway over 2 defenders. Not a great shot by Jacovides. Petway head up. Finds Curtis. Could be a dunk. Almost was, but 2 quick ones and a timeout for Suffolk and Jeff Juron. That'll be a full minute timeout. We'll be back in a few to talk about what we've just seen in this first half. If you're looking to show off your Endicott pride, make sure to get to EndicottGear.com to grab some Endicott merchandise such as shirts, pants, hats, a whole lot more. Thirsty? Well, you're in luck this month only. Store's having 15% off on all drinkware. That's mugs, water bottles, koozies, whatever you can drink of, whatever drink accessories you can think of. We got it. It's 15% off for the month of March. Go check out EndicottGear.com today for everything Endicott. So far, it's the transition game that's interested me the most for both squads. Both getting easy points on the break. Also a couple good defensive transition possessions as well for Endicott. A pass, shooter open in the corner, but there we go. That's Brendan Molson's going to take it himself for the easy two. Those are his first 2 points of the afternoon. Oh, good pass to Griffin Curtis. Can't finish with the left. That's going to stay Endicott ball, however. Good pass by Echeverria. And another 2 out as in comes McDevitt. And in comes Grant. And then change the shot clock to 20 seconds. Let's look more a little bit into these teams' last game against each other. As for those unaware, the CCC has released a press release on how this season is going to look for the spring, as well as a few winter teams. So make sure to go check that out on ecgoals.com, as well as the social media websites. And as well, if you want to look at the ccc.com, they have the press release there. But basically, long story short, these two teams will play every weekend. They'll play a home game and an away game. So this weekend, Endicott is matched up with Suffolk, as we saw yesterday, with the women's teams as well playing Suffolk. So they're in Boston currently, and we'll have some score updates as the game goes on. Probably around halftime, we'll bring it to you. And that's how it's going to work all year. So just like Suffolk, they played Nichols last weekend, 2 games, home and away. This weekend, Endicott, home and away. And that's how it's going to go for as long as we can go, as well as the schedule is tentative. It is very fluid. It could be happening on Wednesday and then not happening on Friday, so make sure to stay up to date. No fans allowed, and a bunch of other things that you can find there in the press release. But back to the game at hand. Jacovides 34 points on 50% shooting. As here have a 3-on-1. Echeverria hangs, can't hit, but gets his own rebounds. Vicko going to take it back up. No again. And it looks like Molson's going to be called with a foul. Jacovides, Molson, and Hale, the big three we've been telling you to look out for, had 20 plus. As Jacovides had 34 and 8 rebounds. Molson 22 points and 7 rebounds. And Hale 20 points and 6 rebounds and a couple blocks, assists for those gentlemen as well. 80% as a team at the free throw line, shooting 20 free throws. And on the Endicott side, you had Billy, as we mentioned, his big game. 19 points for Echeverria and 18 for Vitko. And they all shot pretty efficiently as well. 5 rebounds apiece for those two. McDevitt fouled out in that game. Did not have the best of games. 9 minutes for Dylan Grant, his Endicott debut. As Vitko is going to tuck it and roll it home. McLaren, 14 minutes, 6 points. Drew Brown, no points on 1 shot in both their NCAA debuts. But they led up a 26-9 second half run that's really cost them the game after being back and forth. So this has been a back and forth game as Endicott has the lead, but they know what happened yesterday as they let up a big run. They can't have that happen today. Echeverria, hop step, gets his own rebound again. That's a few for him. And they just cannot seem to finish down low. A few layups blown by both Vitko and Echeverria the last few times down. So Jalen struggling, 0 for 4, but has those 2 offensive rebounds to show for it. Ishmael Fofana has checked into the game. Here's Hale, spot up. Oh, he got it. Nate Hale right in the face of his defender. Arsenal rejects the screen, gets his man caught up on Grant, but again, can't finish the layup. And here they go in transition. Nate Hale thought about it. Over to Sullivan. Here's Fofana, hangs. Can't get it. So that's going to be a foul on Endicott. As Grant struggling down low defensively. Ishmael Fofana, the sophomore from Boston. Stayed pretty close going to college. Had a few minutes to run in their last few games. One of the key contributors off the bench. Coach Juron, the sixth season, doesn't have exactly a large bench. Only goes about 2, 3, maybe 4 if they're playing exceptionally well. And even then, about 2 of those players who normally get in don't even get about 10 minutes to run. So it's mostly the big 3 and the rest. McDevitt running, clearing out some offense. Here's Cam Ray. Vicko thought about it, decided otherwise. McLaren, great position in the post on the smaller defender. Spun his man around. Great job by McLaren. Can always appreciate some post offense here on these Endicott broadcasts. Jacovides right over the Dirk fade, no good. As he's tried that a couple times, hit once. But again, a deadly shooter as he's gotten 30 plus twice this season already. McDevitt off balance 3 does not matter. Arsenal playing defense Bango Fatty could be proud about, but doesn't matter. It's too big, was Hale. Oh, good spin and one. Ty Vitko got his man leaning one way, spun the other, and drew the foul. He'll go to the line. Ty Vitko starting this year after getting about 8 minutes to run a game last year. 61% from the free throw line, 34%, 35% from 3. So he has some efficient scoring in him. And with an increased minutes load, we could see that. He could be a real X factor as he switched from 14 to 0 this year, if you were wondering. Here's Gates back to Sullivan, swinging around. There's Connor Crean. He had a good game off the bench recently. Him and Gates both played very, very well in limited minutes. That was, I believe, their second game. Yep, their second game against Nichols. They both had 15 plus off the bench. Both shot lights out, 4 for 6 from 3 for both of them. And that second game against Nichols, 31 for Jacovides, 22 for Hale, 16 for Crean, 15 for Gates. First 100-point game since 2017, and the most points in a game at 117 since 1994. As McDevitt, he is about to get to 117 himself if he keeps shooting that way. 70 points in the first half, as well as 62, 67, and 90 shooting splits as a team. Just absolutely unstoppable. Hale gets his man in the air. Great move, can't finish, however. Petway pushing, leaves up McDevitt, hot hand. No foul called. C went down. Here's Sullivan. Gets down low on Petway, still looking to create. Here's Rowe, and that's just another uncontested basket for him. A few inches from the cup. So 37-30, Endicott has jumped out to a 7-point lead. About 5:20 remaining in this one. McDevitt just been absolutely on fire. 14 points so far for the senior. All of those being 3-point shots as well as 2 free throws. Also has 5 rebounds, which leads all participants today. So he's been absolutely filthy. It almost knocked down that one from about 30 feet. As you see, they've added the NBA 3-point line to the gymnasium floor this year, which, as we saw in yesterday's game, with the Endicott women facing off the Suffolk women. It seems to be the three-point line they use the most, even though that inner three-point line is the one that still counts as three. But as a competitor, you see that farthest line, and you just automatically think that's the one you have to shoot from. Well, let's look at what Suffolk did last year. 14-12 last season, 78 points per game. They lost to Albertus and Magnus in the GNAT quarterfinals, 82-79. But 3-0 on the season, like we said. Their first game, 97-84. Nate Hale had 34 in that opener. Molson had 21 points, and Jack Vides only had 12. But then you see him lighting it up in the last other two games. First win versus Nichols since 1998, and then they went back-to-back versus Nichols for the first time since Lord knows when. Nichols looking a lot different this year, so hopefully we'll be able to see them as the four-time CCC champs. Lose a bunch of firepower with Deontay Bruton being gone. Echeverria flicks up a shot and can't find the bottom of the net yet again. Here's Gates. Touch past the row, but that's going to be stolen by Endicott. Echeverria, McDevitt, Cam Ray, three-point ball on the way. No good. And a travel called, so that's a mistake by Suffolk that's going to give Endicott the ball right back in their own end. McDevitt could have shot that three, but passed it up for the better shot. Again, you see that maturity on him growing. Grant Brown, Ellis, Petway, Echeverria on the floor. Echeverria to Jordan. Jordan's going to pull it out. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Going to get the screen from Grant. Jordan got to put it up. Floater, no. Sullivan, fantastic job just setting up his teammates, knows he's not the first scoring option, but has got some easy buckets for his team, including a few dump-offs to Rowe. That led to easy dunks and layups. Gates, three on the way, yes. Gates from Hingham, Massachusetts. Grant has some range, saw him shooting threes in pregame. There's Louis, yes. Louis with three. And now the lead up to 7 for the goals. And it's a three-point barrage so far. 13 taken for Endicott, 8 for Suffolk, and that will seem to be their 9th. That's 22 threes. Make that 23 as Ellis misses. Approaching the end of the first half. Brown, good contest. And they're going to push. Echeverria fades to the three-point line. And Petway's going to find him. Another three on the way. Echeverria just cannot seem to hit. Good job by Coach Giron and point guard Sullivan to slow up the pace a little bit. It's getting a little too frantic, but Gates going to find another good pull-up jump shot. Grant open, Petway didn't see him, breaks the defender down, gets into where the trees live, and he'll go to the line for 2. Over the winter, I had a chance to sit down with Jordan Petway about his internship at Slam Magazine and how that was for him. He's been editing videos for them for the past few months, and he's just loved it. Got able to, sit down and edit videos of childhood favorite basketball player Chris Paul, Ray Allen, DeAndre Jordan, you name it. He's done them. And he just had a fantastic time working, obviously passionate about basketball as he is now in his 4th year playing collegiate basketball. And just a very talented video editor and designer, and he's going to go really, really far. So that internship at Slam hopefully turns into a job and just more opportunities later down the line for him as just a fantastic individual as well. Rowe sets the screen. Hale thought about it. Dump it off to Rowe again, and he's going to get right to the cup. And Rowe has been unmatched at the rim so far. He's up to 10 points. First Ram in double digits, and they've been all on easy layups. And a dump off just like Suffolk's been running as Arsenal gets it to Vitco, and they get a taste of their own medicine. Good communication by Endicott's defense. They're in a man-to-man defense, as we'll see most of the year. They might throw a zone in every once in a while, but mostly a straight-up man. And that's an errant pass forced by Ray, but it looks like they're going to say it tipped off of either Cam Ray or another goal. So they're going to wind the clock down. They went to reset it. They thought it was Endicott's possession. But it's going to stay with the Rams and 8 on the shot clock. Oh, and a great move there by Hale. Lost the ball, got it back, and he's up to 9 points now. McDevitt breaking his defender down. Slow-footed Rowe, but that's a great steal by Hale, and here come the Rams. Again, turnovers have been the difference in their games. As Hale, three-point ball, no. Great rebound by Curtis. Jason Mahoney's also checked in for the Rams, then wearing number 22. Good defense by Rowe. Cam Ray under the basket. Good find by Griffin Curtis. And offense, again, not hard to find, as both teams shooting very well. Cam Ray hounding Sullivan. But Gates another moving shot, and he hits it. He's been an MVP off the bench so far. He's up to 7 now, matching Hale. Arsenal behind the back, loves those moves. Oh, impossible finish by Cam Ray. Long arms helped him there. Cameron Ray up to 8 points now. And they're going to try to double, and Cam Ray bringing the energy off the bench. If they're not worried about Sullivan, it seems. 3 seconds left. Got to put a shot up soon. Sullivan, oh, the D. Wade move gets it to him. And he's going to have free throws. He's got 34. Matt McDevitt up in the air. Curious to see how much they're going to put on the clock. Roughly 2 seconds left, I'm going to assume. They see them holding up 2. Or this might just be the end of the half. Sullivan hits the first one. Sullivan hasn't missed so far from the free throw line this year. And there's the commentator's curse. As that will be halftime. 48-41, Endicott up on top. Suffolk looking to get another run under their belt to beat Endicott for the second straight day. We'll be back around 15 minutes or so. Well, let's get going. And now we're ready to get going at some clock stuff. And here we go. Nate Hale working on his 9 points. That's going to miss for him. Echeverria struggled mightily in that first half, as he just hasn't been able to get anything to go. Layups, three-pointers, just nothing falling for him. He could use a layup to get him going. I give it to Grant down low. Grant spinning, winning. Great job Dylan Grant. Here's Hale. He's liked that spin move as well. Him and Jacovides have been using that spin jumper to their advantage. And here's Molson. Those big three. Well, it's been the Sullivan and Rowe show, as those two have really set the pace. Awkward jumper by Sullivan, misses. Jacovides only have the 4 points, as we mentioned, 30 plus in his last two. Vitko misses. So Endicott's defense doing a way better job at keeping Suffolk at bay. Ooh, great job by Molson to spin, but better job by Grant with the block. As a crisp spin move met by the long arm of the law by Grant. Jacovides trying to get free. Sullivan takes advantage of the loose ball. And now back to a 6-point game. Here's Arsenal. As again, 5 assists so far in the first half. And career high 23 for him last time out. Hasn't scored all too much, but has been doing it in other ways, as Billy normally does. McDevitt gets his own miss and puts it right back up. Make it 16 for the big fella, leading all scorers tonight. Echeverria might have got a hand on it. Still gets to Sullivan anyway. He rattles home a three. So again, this offense isn't going anywhere, as both teams are shooting phenomenally out of the break. Over 45% for both teams from the field. Over 40% from both teams, including 53% for Endicott from three-point lands. Hale thought about it, steps back. Arsenal still on him. Rowe just gets right by Grant, and Grant's been lost defensively so far tonight. And he's added some great size and has a couple blocks, but down low, Rowe's just been having his way with him. He's up to 12 points now. McDevitt spot up three. Looks like a piece was taken out of that shot. Lead it up. Jacovides in transition, no. And back and forth go these teams. And now it's a 3-point game and a timeout already. And this is a good chance to remind everyone at home to go follow EC Athletics on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Stay up to date with all things happening around with Endicott Athletics. Following at EC Goals on all platforms. So that's username at EC Goals on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Help grow the family by sharing and liking posts about your favorite student athletes and teams as a whole. Also make sure to follow Endicott men's basketball at Endicott MBB. That's Endicott MBB on Instagram. Stay up to date with their game schedules, final scores, highlights, and much, much more. And again, that's EC Goals on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and at Endicott MBB on Twitter and Instagram. So Suffolk cutting down this lead was around 8 or so. Now sits about 3, actually 6 coming into the break. So they've cut the lead by 3 after a couple three-pointers by them. And a timeout taken early as Endicott's put up a few, but Suffolk's put up a few more. 7 so far. Jacovides, Molson, Hale, Rowe, and Sullivan in. As well as Vitko, McLaren, McDevitt, Arsenal, and Echeverria. So all starters except for McLaren in on the game. Fake dribble handoff by McDevitt. In comes Arsenal. Might have been able to shoot it up. Sullivan, the hustle as always. He's been fun to watch. Just understands his role beautifully. He's a hustle guy. He's not going to be looked upon to score a whole bunch, but he's put in a few points. 11, actually. He's the second leading scorer. Him and Rowe really have been taking over for the big three like we mentioned. Hale, Jacovides, most of them have been playing bad, but they just haven't been the focal point today, and that just shows the versatility of this Rams team. Molson, weird double pump on the shot. Fitko open all alone. McDevitt spot up three. Oh, you betcha. He's not going to miss that one, especially after the night he's been having. Molson almost loses the ball there. So Jacovides in the corner. He's going to get it back to Molson, swinging around. Fitko right there, but left without the ball. Oh, a Rajon Rondo type pass. As, again, good defense down low, but the smallest man ends up with the offensive rebound. Hale, step back. No good. Molson right there. And that's 2 points after 4 attempts, and you just can't have that if you're Endicott. Great offensive rebounding by the Rams. That jumps their total up from 3 to 5 in one swift possession. Swinging around, Echeverria still not afraid to shoot. You're going to miss still, but you still want him taking those shots. Hopefully he'll come around. I'm fine with that. Out 0 for 9 in this game. This is one of the toughest I've seen him play. As Vicko got a nose. And he's finally got an elbow to the mouth. That must be the worst thing of all time. Losing a tooth. I couldn't imagine. Famous tweet by Tyler I Am. Doesn't matter what I'm doing, if I lose a tooth, I'm going home. Arsenal tries to spin, finds McLaren, deep three, no. Oh, created some good space, but Arsenal all up in his grill. And Hale's going to draw 3 free throws. Let's see how he's shooting from the line so far this year. Take a look at Nate Hale and what he's done in his career. 25 points per game so far this year, as well as near 50% from three. Only a second year up here. Last year, about 18 minutes a game, mostly off the bench, got about 12. 96% free throw shooter last year. And he went from 100 to a little bit less than that right now, but he does not miss free throws often, just a sniper. As we've seen him just very fluid with the ball, 6'4", good frame. And he'll go 2 for 3 there. Billy pass out to Ty. Oh, him and McLaren not on the same page, and that's going to be a turnover for the goals. And Suffolk, don't look now, but it's a tie game. Endicott with that 6-point lead, and they've squandered it. And Suffolk coming back, as we mentioned. Was a close game around this point last time. Endicott led up a 26-9 run in the second half. Ended up being down by as much as 17 at one point in that second half. In the first half, climbed back as McLaren with a stuff. But they are no stranger to letting up these leads, and Suffolk might go 2 for 2 in that department if this keeps up. Jacovides to Sullivan. Sullivan looking around, screen for Hale. Hale going to take Louis. Jacovides now on Ray. Ray tries to back tap it. McLaren, great defense down low. And Ray is going to go into the stands. But are they going to give possession back to the Rams, or are they going to take shot clock? And they're going to put 20 seconds back and simulating an offensive rebound. Turnaround jumper, good for Jacovides. He's tried that a couple times tonight, about 500 on those shots. Cam Ray up fake, gets his defender in the air. Can't convert, but he'll go to the line. He is 1 for 2 so far tonight. And this, if he hits both, could push him into double digits. That's 9 for him. Now tied for Vitko for numero dos. And Cam was now 75% on the day from the line. Echeverria pressuring in the backcourt, trying to get the ball out of Sullivan's hands, force someone else to play make. Hale errant pass, but Gates able to grab it. Molson snatched back, and a blocking foul on Cameron Ray. And to the line goes Ben Molson. Molson so far 4 points, so he's behind Hale and Jacovides, but 2 free throws here could put them right where they normally are. There's one. Molson 2 for 10 from the field, having a very off night shooting. Oh, Jacovides there on the offensive rebound on the free throw, and Griffin Curtis falling down. And shooting too, so just another unfortunate rebounding debacle by the Gulls. As now what was a close rebounding match has turned to an 8-point favor for Suffolk, 7-point favor, excuse me, including 10 offensive rebounds given up. So not what you want to see, and rebounding has been an issue for this team in this past, especially with Nick Tebow graduating a few years ago, and you have Keith Brown, which is a smart offensive player and just knew where to be for rebounds. Now you add McDevitt's more of a perimeter player, and Dylan Grant hasn't played great, so if he's not getting minutes on the bench and off the bench, then there goes some rebounding that you desperately need. McDevitt at 7 rebounds, Grant at 3. We have Echeverria at 4. You'd rather your 6'9" guy have more rebounds than your 5'10" guy. Jacovides' quick trigger doesn't rattle home, and another offensive rebound. That's 11. Going to re-spot. Gates feeling himself, and Ellis is going to turn it over. So just cannot corral a defensive rebound, even if they wanted to. As McDevitt and Vitko are going to come back. And hopefully change the narrative on terms of rebounds. Turnaround jump shot. Smooth. Oh, rattles away, but there's Sullivan battling again. Petway lightning quick down the floor. Vitko spin, left-handed. No. Gates stops, pops. Oh, he hits. Gates has been great off the bench so far tonight, just getting to wherever he wants on the floor. And he is in rhythm. So now this lead has ballooned to 5 points as being outscored 20-9 at our Endicott. As Suffolk just came to play the second half. There we go, Jalen Echeverria, timeout after the three-point ball. And he thanks the heavens for finally getting on the board. And we'll thank you if you go get some Endicott gear at EndicottGear.com. Make sure to grab some merchandise, just pants, shirts, sweatshirts, hats, whole bunch of stuff. Whole lot more, belts, ties, you name it, we got it. This month and this month only, stores having a 15% sale on all drinkware. That's mugs, water bottles, koozies, and more at 15% off for the whole month of March. So March 31st ends and this sale ends, so make sure to get it quick. Go check out EndicottGear.com today for everything Endicott. Jalen Echeverria, as we said, finally gets on the board. That is 1 for 10 for him, 1 for 6, but you can't fault him for not trying. He is a dynamic offensive player, as we saw last year as a freshman, pouring in 15-plus points per game, a few 20-point performances, including, I believe it was opening night, he got close to 20 points in his collegiate debut. And brother Marcos in the stands. Marcos Echeverria, legendary Division III player. That's it. He's one of the leading scorers in NCAA Division III history, and was part of a few of those Nichols Championship teams that have haunted Endicott in the last 4 years. Arsenal puts a shoulder in him, frees up Drew Brown. Brown thought about it, takes a step in, and airballs. Arsenal up, no, Molson affected the shot, and the Rams are going, but that's stopped by Ty Vitko. And that's Mahoney. Jason Mahoney hits the deck as Vitko was hustling for the ball. No one really in foul trouble for both sides, as Arsenal has 2, Molson and Jacovides have 2, and that's the most that we see, and everyone else a bunch of 1s. So it's been a clean game for the most part. Oh, backdoor cut was missed. Mahoney had Gates cutting. But they'll find Gates spot up 3. Oh my goodness! Heat check. Is that now 5 for 6, including 2 for 3 and 12 points. Now John Gates off the bench has gone to 12 points. That's 5 Rams, count them 5s in double digits. Arsenal, again, can't hit, as easy paint points have been hard to come by. Oh, John Gates! Don't do it to him, as he is just unconscious right now. John Gates off the bench, up to 15. Wow, what a game by John Gates. Had about 15 last time out, comes off the bench again, and pours in another 15. As he's just been hitting everything. That's the definition of in rhythm. As Endicott now finds himself down 10, this is another second half lead that they've watched, another run they've watched Suffolk go on, being outscored by more than double in this half alone. 12 points total for Endicott. That's 28 for Suffolk. Oh, a tough day for Endicott. They just can't find anything. As rebounding has been the issue, as Suffolk been missing a bunch of shots. They're only at they're still at 47%, which is respectable. But that offensive rebound number 12, you do not win games when you're giving up 12 second chance opportunities. You really aren't. But we'll see how Endicott does it. They are a three-point shooting team. All it takes is a couple shots, and they are right back in this game, so do not count them out. We'll see how they respond in this last 10 minutes. As what would effectively be the start of the fourth quarter. As crunch time approaches with a double-digit deficit for the goals. Echeverria, Arsenal, McDevitt, McLaren, and Ty Vitko. And Crean, Mahoney, and Gates are in, as well as Sullivan and Molson for the Rams. Steal by Suffolk. And go right at Echeverria. Backdoor cut finds its way to Sullivan, and it's just been that kind of night for Endicott. They get a deflection and it just goes right to the open shooter. It's just unlucky. You also don't expect Echeverria to have the night he's having. But hey, second half, he's a clutch performer. We saw him in big-time moments last season in the playoffs, especially against Wentworth, really go at the teeth of the defense in high leverage situations, so he is not a stranger to the big time moment. You can see him turning up at any time. Crean left wide open. Not a great idea, but it works out for Endicott as Arsenal's now pushing the pace. They need points quick. Good switch by Sullivan. Echeverria. Oh, they won't give him the shot. On the floor, but Jalen, you see him getting to his spots more effectively and now finishing at the cup. Don't sleep on him. And they're going to tag Molson with a foul, so he's the first of anyone to get to 3 fouls. You have Nate Hale going to check in, and Jacoviti is going to check in as well. Ty Vicko, good positioning. He can't convert, but he'll go to the line again. It's going to be free throws 2 and 3 for number 0. And Vicko now enters double digits. 3rd Endicott player and 8th overall to get to 10 plus. No one over to 20. McDevitt's the closest with 19. He's had 15 points from the 3-point line, 2 from the field, and 2 more from the charity stripe. Has 2 free ones for Ty Vitko. And now this lead just 9 with 8:46 left to play. Echeverria pressuring Sullivan just to get the ball out of his hands, but that really hasn't worked out much as Suffolk still scoring points. Crean keeps his pivot foot on the floor as Hale right to the rim uncontested as perimeter defense has not been there. This team has definitely been more of an offensively focused team than defense in past years. Well, you lose a 20-point scorer like Heath Brown, and then all of a sudden that defense becomes a little bit more important. As just hounding defense, Sullivan out in front of everybody. Gotta leave it up for Gates. What a play by Suffolk. The Houdini play. As Sullivan just knows, baby. He just knows. Vicko on the ground for it. McDevitt 3-point ball. Oh, back-to-back great plays. What a sequence of events we just saw. But still, 10-point deficit. No good from Hale. Took a contested 3. Oh, they had Vicko. And just not a good pass as you hear Coach, come on, Billy. Echeverria finding the corner. Oh, he's starting to heat up, folks. That's 8 now for Echeverria all in this second half. And they're going to need it. And that's going to be a timeout. And while we have you, grab your phone, your tablet, iPad, phone, Samsung fridge, whatever you use to get online, get there and go follow EC Athletics on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Stay up to date with all things happening in the realm of Endicott by following at EC Goals on all platforms. Help grow the family by sharing and liking posts about your favorite student athletes and teams as a whole. Also, make sure to follow the men's basketball team at Endicott MBB. That's Endicott at Endicott MBB on Instagram and Twitter. Stay up to date with their game schedules, final scores, highlights, and much, much more. That's at Endicott. At EC Goals, at EC Goals on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and at Endicott MBB on Twitter and Instagram to make sure to stay up to date. Find these streams. So thank you all for tuning in. I'm Cody Shalfu, bringing you tonight's NCAA Division III matchup between Suffolk, who has 77 now, and Endicott, who is up to 70. As Endicott had a 6-point lead going to halftime, and that's been flipped on its head now, a 7-point deficit. As how many times can I say deficit within the next 7 minutes? We'll find out. Hale tucks in the jersey and now finds Rowe. We haven't seen him for a little bit, but was a quick factor. Jacovides left wide open. I do not recommend that strategy going forward. McDevitt trying to create space. He goes up to Petway. Petway to the lane. Challenges the defense and scores 2. Jordan now with 4 points. 24 of the 57 attempts for Endicott have been from the three-point line. They've knocked down 12 at a 50% clip. Normally that's really good and has you winning games, but when you let up 50% as well as 43% from the field, and those kind of moves, you're not going to win games too often with that strategy. As Jacovides now heating up a little bit. He has a couple straight. He is now taking over Gates for the leading scorer at 17. Echeverria short. Jacovides might not get the 30, but he's still going to keep that scoring average pretty high if he can get into the 20s. Rowe, turn hook. It's going to be on the floor. Pretty consistent we've seen. We had an Echeverria layup waved off. So like the consistency here by the crew. For those who missed it, Mamadou Ba, James Slatery, and Rich Napolitano are your referees tonight. Hale thought about it, pulls up. Nope, gives it to Jacovides. Maybe got away with a walk, but another offensive rebound for Sullivan and the Rams. He's going to hang in the air, find Jacovides, hand up. We're going to calm it down, run some clock. Little shift in speed, but still good defense by 3 goals there. Vico left open in transition. They're going to call the tip, so no backcourt. Good call. Billy to the lane. Yes, counted and 1. Billy Arsenal hand up. And another free throw for him. The first of the day, as he's now up to 5 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Well-rounded game for Billy. Only 1 for 6 shooting. Well, that makes it now 2 for 7. Billy, the hero of their last win here at Endicott, the semifinals against Wentworth, a night most of us won't forget very soon, as he hit the game winner down by 1 at the buzzer to send Endicott to the championship game. They did end up losing that by 1, as Rowe now shoots from 17 out. Billy became campus hero overnight after having a solid campaign in his first year here after transferring. His uncle was at Grinnell College for 30-plus years and highlighted that Grinnell offense, and now his son, David Arsenal Jr., is now at Grinnell. And a spin shot from Hale. Not going to go down. So as a point guard and as coaching in the blood, wouldn't be surprised to see Billy coaching sometime soon after college if he's interested. He definitely has the IQ and the pedigree. And just a very smart player. And Echeverria hounding Jacovides. Hale dancing around 25 feet. Sullivan spot-up shot. Lefty can't get it to go. McDevitt pushed to the ground. He's going to be slow, but that could be end up for a transition 3. Jordan. Oh, 2 for 2 from Jordan. As Jordan now heating up, and look at that lead, folks. Only 3 points now, and you can see the Endicott bench getting rowdy. And they can't hit nothing. As a few empty possessions by Suffolk. Jordan pushing the pace right at him, but good defense by Rowe. And they're going to slow up the pace. As McDevitt has now entered 20 points. Timeout is rewarded, and all of a sudden, double-digit lead is now shriveled down to 3. We'll take the timeout with you. We'll be back in just a few. I'm sorry for anyone who bet the under in this game. It's 84-81 with about 3 minutes left to play. Endicott went from down up 6 to down around 10 to now down by only 3. As both teams have had their fair shares of ups and downs. Again, a 26-9 run last time out as Suffolk beat Endicott. Gates finally misses, only took him forever and a half to get there. But they decided not to let up another run like that. But with these two teams and how offensively stacked they both are, as Bicko hangs, can't quite hit. Could have been 2 fouls on the play. But he's going to go to the line, and this could cut the lead down to just 1. Bicko already 3 for 3 at the line, 11 points, the second leading scorer at Endicott right now. 9 total players in double digits. That's Jacovies at 17, Gates at 15, Sullivan and Rowe at 14, Hale at 13. And now Bicko hits that. Brings him to 12, along with 22 for McDevitt, 10 for Ray, 10 for Jordan, who just hit 2 big threes to take 6 points out of that lead on his own. And 8 points for Echeverria, 7 for McLaren, 7 for Molson, 6 for Arsenal. We could very well have a whole bunch of double-digit scores in this one. Jacovides' left-handed layup is in. That's a great move by the senior. And Bicko answers with a 3-point ball. Tie game, ladies and gentlemen. Anyone's game. 2 minutes left, 0-0. As a classic here in the North Shore as Hale frees up some space. But he's going to be off on the 3-point ball. McDevitt lets it go out. Now here comes Endicott. They could take the lead and get their first win of 2021. What's just their second game since February 29th of last year. Seems like forever ago. Now we have some basketball back in the North Shore. Billy takes his time, 8 seconds on the clock. McDevitt slips. We're going to fade it up to him. And they're going to get Sullivan, who just got Moss on the foul. 1-1 now as Endicott is now on the bonus at 7. So this would be huge. McDevitt, fantastic free throw shooter. 38 points now for Endicott in the second half. It was once 28 points scored by Suffolk to 12. Now it's 44-39 after that. And Endicott has officially taken the lead for the first time since early this half. 2 for 2. I would have bet on that. as both teams approaching 90. As we said, 107 points per game in their first three, or their first two games, including another almost 100, as Molson gets an offensive rebound and the score. And again, offensive rebounds being the crutch, or the heel, of this team. Arsenal creates some space. Vitko, cold-blooded three by Ty Vitko. 45 seconds left. Jacovides the answer, no. And McDevitt now. And they can erase a bunch of this clock. They want to give it to Billy. And they're going to pressure him. He has to get it over. He does. Timeout. Great job by Billy. And right now we see Jordan Petway going over to Billy, talking about what he saw. 3-point lead, 30 seconds left, and they can essentially waste up to 20 seconds on this clock if Suffolk doesn't go into the free throw battle. Huge three by Ty Vitko. Endicott now, again, was in control that first half. Got up to around 10-point lead themselves. Ended up going into the half at 6 points more than Suffolk. Suffolk battled back to begin that third quarter, then went on second half, then went on that run with about 10 minutes left in this half. Endicott was down by double digits. Now look at the scoreboard, 91-88, the good guys. And Suffolk, be interesting what they do. Obviously, they want to trap and try to steal the ball first. I'd say if the clock gets down around 20 seconds or so, then I think that's when the free throws are going to start. Endicott still in the 1-on-1, so they're at 7 fouls. So they have a few chances to get a foul and a miss. So hope is not lost for Suffolk. There's plenty of time and plenty of strategies to employ here. As Jordan's going to throw the ball in as the best passer on the team, Oh, he missed Vitko, and he's going to call for a timeout. You had Vitko diving to the rim. But better safe than sorry and try for an easier pass. We'll take this timeout with you. We'll be back in a few. Vitko, Petway, Echeverria, Arsenal, McDevitt on the floor for the goals. Aiden Sullivan, Nate Hale, John Gates off the bench, 15 points. He's going to get some playing time now as a spark plug. Jacovides and Molson, 29.5 seconds left. They got to spread them out now. And into Jalen, good free throw shooter. And they're going to foul at 26. And that's going to be a 1-on-1. Tried for the trap, they got it. So 1-on-1 for Echeverria. Big free throws coming up. This could get him into double digits, as he hasn't shot a free throw yet, but his history says he's pretty good at them. He was a 77% shooter last year in his freshman campaign. And history repeats itself as he makes that one. CCC Player of the Year now puts this game up to 2 possessions. And there's 5. So Suffolk needs some points, needs some quick 2 possessions. Then they get some shots. Nate Hale steps into a long 3, no. Vitko gets the ball. And they're going to the line again. Tyvico can now get up to 20. So now Tyvico's going to go to the line. This will be the last of the 1-and-1s as the next foul will put them into the double bonus 10. It's tied so far. Perfect 5 for 5. 6 for 10 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3. But he misses there, exactly what Suffolk needed. Gates has been hot. And that is a costly turnover. And that could ice it, especially with the 2 guaranteed free throws now. As I try to get to McDevitt. And they will. So 10 seconds now. McDevitt's going to go to the line to try to get to 26. And there we go. There's a free throw. And 2 for 2. Wide open 3. Sullivan, they hit it. So now 95-91. The score there. Matt McDevitt, 26 tonight. As it has been a show for them. So Endicott most likely, we still have to see. We still have 4 seconds left. That's a bunch of time. But their free throw percentage is 91 as a team right now. Only missed 2 all game. And what could be, I believe McDevitt going to the line. Or excuse me, actually that was a 3-pointer, so it'll be an out-of-bounds play. So Coach Bancourt, multiple CCC Coach of the Year awards. Going to draw something up. He's been phenomenal here. Just a calm, cool, collected guy. He can get animated at times, but just a fantastic coach and a great coaching staff as a whole. Assisted by Luke Richards, Lance Green, and Chris Litscomb. They'll get to McDevitt, their best free throw shooter. And that's it. That will be the ball game.